Hi, my name is Kat, or the Fair Librarian, and welcome to another video. Today I will be sharing my August TBR game with you. I'm filming this a little bit early. It is July 22nd as of filming this, so I still have a little bit of July left to read some things. I have like an estimation of what I will be able to get to, but I could be wrong, of course, so I might read a little bit less, read a little bit more, which if there's things that I think I will end up reading that I don't, then I'll just read them early August, and if I am done with them earlier, then I'll just start this TBR a few days early. It's fine. But so that is where we're at. But let's start by going over the July TBR. These are the books I have physically. I have a few that I don't have physically. So on my TBR, I had The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley for a book with an animal on the cover, which I'm currently reading. I will definitely finish. I had The American War by Omar El Akkad for a pre-pick, which I DNF'd. I had The River Has Roots by Amal El Motar for the random number generator pick, which I wasn't able to get to because it's still not in from the library, so I need to wait until I can get it to be able to read that. But so I haven't read that for that reason. And then I had The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah for a book published between 2020 and the current year that also had an object on the cover, and I did not get to this one. I had The Trees by Percival Everett for a friend pick, and I have not yet started this one, but this will be my next read. I actually might even start it later today, so this will be read by the end of the month. And then I have The Aleph and Other Stories by Jorge Luis Borges, which I've been saving for the final weekend of the month because then Cleo from the Muse Bookworm hosts Read It Short, which is a readathon where we read short things, and so like short stories could work. I just not like this entire collection. It's not this entire volume because it's a bind-up of a few of his short story collections, so it's actually not that very long. So if I don't finish it in that weekend, I will at least make a decent dent in it and then just finish it early August. So, and then also I had a mood read that I also had, for which I read Act Her Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert, so that prompt is completed as well. So I have 2 books that I have not started and I don't anticipate starting before the end of the month. So if you're new to my TBR game, what I do in that case is I pick a prompt from the jar and I can decide whether I want to do whatever the prompt says or just roll over the book. So I need to do that for both The Stardust Thief and The River Has Roots. But for The River Has Roots, because that is my number generator pick, I try not to just drop that one. So if I do end up not just rolling it over the normal way, I still gonna try to like fit it into one of the prompts this month. So let's start by picking a prompt for The River Has Roots. This one. And the prompt is a random number generator pick for my yearly TBR. I could do this, but I think I'm just gonna roll over The River Has Roots because I need to do that anyway, and this doesn't give me a lot of control either, so I'm just gonna roll over that one. So the first book on the TBR is The River Has Roots by Amal El Motar, which is a fairy tale retelling that, you know, is about 2 sisters. It sounds fun. That is the first book. Then let's pick a prompt for The Stardust Thief. I'm gonna go with this one. 2 prompts, 1 book. So I need to pick 2 prompts and then the book has to fit both. Actually, that could be fun. I do think that this is a fun one. So I'm gonna do that. So let's pick those 2 prompts. So let's pick our 2 prompts. I have to, no, that's a goose brand. That should not be here. Now I have 2. First one, under 300 pages, okay. And then in German, oh gosh, no. Okay, let me think about that. Well, that backfired. So I needed a book in German that is shorter than 300 pages. At least it's telling me to read something short if it's going to be difficult. So I decided to go with the book Wanderer. Okay, so apparently the English title is The Door-to-Door Bookstore, not the Book Wanderer. So just pretend I say The Door-to-Door Bookstore. Okay. Or Der Buchspazierer in German. Which is like a kind of cozy contemporary story about this bookshop owner who brings books to his customers, but then he threatens to lose his shop, and we need to like get the community to help save the shop. This has been on a TBR before, also because I needed a book in German. And I didn't read it then. We'll see if it's gonna happen now. I think that if a book in this TBR is not going to happen, then it's going to be this one. But we'll see. I might surprise myself. But so yeah, this is going on the TBR. I'm scared. But oh well. So now that we've looked to July, we can sort of start to look forward to August a bit more. And first we do the random number generator pick. So I have a spreadsheet with a bunch of books. I pick one using a random number generator, and then I can either try and fit it into one of the prompts that is going to come, and if I don't do that, I have to add it on as an extra book. So let's see what I get for that. So here we have the random number generator spreadsheet thing. As you can see, I have 811 spaces filled, which is a lot. I know it's a lot. I plan to go through at some point and like delete some that I don't need to keep on here. But for now we're at 811. So I need a number between 1 and 811. Generate. 731, so that's a fairly recent one. Okay, 731. Oh, it's by Ismail Kadaya. I need to look up what the English title for that is. But that is a pretty recent one. Because as you can see, I added quite a few of his books all at the same time because I discovered he exists and they sound interesting. So, okay, cool. Let me look up what this is. Okay, so the random number generator picked A Girl in Exile, that is the English title, by Ismail Kadare, which is a story set in Albania during like a dictatorship in the 40s. And a playwright is being questioned by the regime because a girl named Linda B committed suicide, and she had like a signed copy of one of the main character's books with her at the time. And so the main character then goes to find out what happened with this girl. It sounds interesting. It sounds fun. I've been wanting to try this author for, well, a bit over a month now. No. Yeah, roughly that, since I knew that he existed. And I'm really excited. about this one. So yeah, great, lovely, wonderful. I'm happy to read this. This was not what I expected to get, but I'm happy. Now that we've done the July recap and the random number generator pick, we can start and see how many rolls I need to do for the August game. Okay, let's see how many rolls we get. I'm actually hoping for not too high of a number because I have a couple of planned reads as well. So we'll see. A 5, of course. Of course, when I ask for a low number, it's a 5. Okay, 5 rolls, I guess. And as always, we start where we left off last month. So let's get into roll number 1. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Normal prompt. And the prompt is start a series. I can do that. Okay, so roll number 1 was nice and allowed me to fit in a book that I needed to fit in anyway, because I needed the start of a series, and for that I will be going with Nightshade by Autumn Woods. This is a contemporary romance. It's the first book in a duology, and I'm reading this for a book club. It is about this girl who goes to this elite boarding school to find out what happened to her parents who died, and it's a romance. To be quite honest, I don't have super high hopes for this one, but I hope I'm pleasantly surprised because we're kind of planning to read the second book, which comes out in August as well for this book club, so I hope that I like it. We have the discussion, I think the second week of August, so this will be, happening earlier in the month, and then after that, when the second book is out. Or, at least the Dutch translation of the second book is out, because I think that the English version comes out at the very end of July. But I'm reading it in Dutch, so I want the Dutch translation, which comes out, halfway through August. I can then read the second book, hopefully. So yeah, that is the first book. Rule number 2. 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Normal prompt. And the prompt is a fantasy. Very doable. So for rule number 2, I needed a fantasy book, and yet again, I managed to fit in something that I wanted to read anyway. So thank you, game. You kind of made up for the German book. Almost. Not yet. But for that, I'm going to be reading Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which is a fantasy standalone. It's a Beauty and the Beast type vibe. I've had this for a long time. And now I'm going to be buddy reading it with someone on Discord who, they basically said that they had the book and hadn't read it yet, and I was like, I have that book too, and I haven't read it either, so let's read it together, and that's what we're going to do in August. Yeah, I have read something else by this author. I have read Spinning Silver, which I enjoyed, not a new favorite, but I had fun with that one, so I hope to have fun with this one too, but I've heard from quite a few people that this is not Naomi Novik's best book. So we'll see what happens, but I'm still excited to give it a try. Rule number 3. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Normal prompt. And the prompt is a TBR vet. So a book that has been on my TBR for a long time. I have a lot of those, so that could work. And then for rule number 3, I'm just getting in all the buddy reads and book clubs. I need a TBR vet, and for that I'm going to go with The Body in the Library by Agatha Christie, which is a Miss Marple, if I'm not mistaken, about a body being found in a library. Shocking, I know. And yeah, I've owned, or well, technically my mom has owned a copy of this for a long time, but I kind of stole it. And I've been wanting to read it, just hasn't happened yet. So works great for a TBR vet. And this is the August pick for the Evil Minds Research Group, which is a book club that is all about reading mysteries. And we decided to go back to roots and read an Agatha Christie for August. So it's just fun. Rule number 4. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is a goose on this, so it's a goose prompt. And where is my... I didn't pick out my goose jar. Hang on. I got it. I didn't put it in a spot. Okay, let's see. Swap goose and normal spots. Oh gosh. So going forward, any spot that has a goose on it, I'll have to pick a normal prompt. And then without a goose, I have to pick a goose prompt. Which is fine because there's only row 5 left. So great. But this doesn't give me a book. So I need to pick a normal prompt then. The prompt is a book I own. Okay. Okay, next I have a book that I own. I could not have planned these prompts better because you guessed it, another Betty Read. And that is for A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan, which is the first book in the Memoirs of Lady Trent series. I'll be Betty reading this with Tori from the channel Tori Talks. And I'm really excited about this. So it's about a woman in like the Regency, England, and she wants to study dragons. And so she does that. And we're following her. Great, lovely. I am excited. This was also one of the books that was recommended to me for my birthday, so I'd like to do another episode of that vlog series. So yeah, I'll be reading this. Okay, roll number 5. 5. That is, well, it has technically goose on it, but it's also in a prison, which means that I need to do it twice, so pick 2 prompts and then pick a book for each. But normally it will be 2 goose prompts, but we get to ignore that, so 2 normal prompts. Okay. So the first one is random letter generator. Okay. And then we have set in Africa or an African-inspired world. Okay, let me think about these. So for roll number 5, I had to pick 2 prompts. So first I had a random letter generator, which I'll insert right here. And as you can see, it picked the H, which means that either a title or the author's last name has to start with an H. And there is one book that I have checked out from the library. Like, I don't even know why I have this currently, but I do. And that is Air of Illusion by Madeline Taylor, which is the first book in a romantasy series. I don't even really know what this is about because it's one of those that doesn't really give you a synopsis on the thing. It's like, you know. So I can't say much. I also haven't really heard anyone talk about this. So we're just going to discover together what this is, I guess. But this will be added. And then for the last book of this TBR, I needed a book set in Africa or an African-inspired world. I went with the latter and I opted to finish a series. Wonderful. And I'll be reading Redemptor by Jordan Ifweko, which is the sequel to Raybearer, which I read... Did I read it last year or the year before that? I really, really enjoyed it. And I don't know why I haven't read the sequel yet. I just haven't. So I'm gonna do that. and it's going to be great, and it's going to be wonderful. And so yeah, that is the TBR. Let's recap. So for books that I don't have physically, I had The River Has Roots by Amal El-Motar for a rollover from last month. I had Girl in Exile by Ismail Kalarev for a random number generator pick. I have The Redemptor by Jordan Flako for a book set in Africa or an African-inspired world. I have A Body in the Library by Agatha Christie for a TBR vet. And I have The Book Wanderer by Kirsten Henn for a book in German that is under 300 pages. Then I have A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan for a book I own. Then I have Nightshade by Autumn Woods for the first book in a series. Era of Illusion by Madeline Taylor for a book that starts with H. And Uprooted by Naomi Novik for a fantasy book. So yeah, that's quite a few. I only really have one thing to add to this, and that is the sequel to Nightshade, which is Daydream, I think. Or Daybreak. No, Daybreak. Which I hopefully also will get to. And those are the things. I actually wanted to put on a nonfiction as well somewhere, which I don't have, so I might try and squeeze in that somewhere. I actually wanted to finish some series. Like, I mean, I have Redemptor, obviously, but if I can fit in another sequel or two, I might do that. But we'll see if that happens, if I find the time to do that, because this is quite a few books already. But so yeah, this is the TBR. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of it, and let me know some things that you're excited to read in the month of August, and then I'll talk to you in the video. Bye!